Here's more wrestling news for March 9th, 2023, and we're starting off with WWE NXT, and on this week's show, Roxanne Perez retained her women's championship, but shockingly collapsed after the match. This shocking ending to the show saw Shawn Michaels and Roxanne's trainer Booker T accompany the champion, who had to be stretchered out of the arena. On Twitter, WWE provided an update on her condition, saying that Roxanne had been kept overnight at a medical facility for further observation. It's unclear at this time what exactly the problem is, though Wade Keller reports that some in WWE believe she's dealing with a serious concussion. If so, there's no confirmation on when Perez will wrestle again, and with NXT Stand and Deliver a matter of weeks away, this potential concussion has come at the worst possible time. While some have suggested that what transpired could just be a work, we simply cannot know for sure at this time, and we'll keep following Perez's condition for any further updates. Not too long ago, it was reported that WWE is interested in Kenny Omega, with some in the promotion believing that they can win over the former AEW World Champion. The Cleaner isn't the only AEW name on WWE's radar, as their interest in MJF is no secret, and now another AEW talent could be on their way to Stanford. In January, it was reported that Brian Cage's deal was set to expire, and the powerhouse is not exactly jumping at the chance to re-sign. Sean Ross Sapp reports that Cage's deal will expire imminently, and that when AEW hoped to extend his deal to make up for his time away due to injury, Cage pushed back and was interested in exploring free agency. It was further noted that WWE is interested in Brian Cage's services, but they can only do something about it if he becomes a free agent. While Cage has had some heavy hitters batting for him in AEW, including Chris Jericho, who hopes he re-signs, the rarely used Cage seems tired of AEW, and time will tell whether WWE will be his next home should his AEW deal expire. One name who has competed in WWE and AEW is Bryan Danielson, who fans last saw compete in the main event at Revolution 2023. At last weekend's show, the American Dragon came up short against MJF, and his comments after the match could be a sign of what's to come. In a post-match video, Danielson said, quote, "It's time for me to go home," which instantly got fans speculating as to where home actually is. Many took Bryan's comments as a sign of his WWE return, and we can only imagine that the Dragon would thrive under the creative direction of Triple H. Others suggested that home is literally Bryan's home, and that he plans on retiring in due time, though unlike in 2016, this time his retirement will be on his own terms. It's always worth mentioning that Bryan has two young children who he's often kept away from due to his career, so it wouldn't be impossible to think that Bryan is ready to leave the ring behind. One fan even suggested that Bryan going home means he's going to one of his earliest wrestling promotions, namely Ring of Honor, where he is a Hall of Famer. But the only person who knows what Bryan is planning is the former world champion himself. What do you think is next for the American Dragon? Was his comments a sign of a WWE return, his retirement, jumping to ROH, or possibly something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. WrestleMania news now, as this year's event is just 23 days away, but WWE is already making plans for next year's Showcase of the Immortals. We already know that WrestleMania 40 will take place on April 6th and 7th, 2024 at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, and Triple H is hard at work for the event. In a report from Give Me Sport, WrestleVotes revealed that WWE are planning to pack and stack the hell out of the card because the show is the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, adding that this means something to Triple H. WWE, of course, have not confirmed any matches for WrestleMania 40, but if they want to stack the card, then Roman Reigns vs. The Rock would be a fitting main event. That match didn't happen this year because The Rock felt he didn't have enough time to get into ring shape, but would surely have enough time if WWE is already negotiating a deal for him at next April's event. WWE always likes to stack the card with superstars, legends, and celebrities at WrestleMania, but next year's show will be on an entirely different level, and it remains to be seen what the game has in mind. Whatever plans for WrestleMania 40 that WWE has cooking, they won't include NXT's Sarray, who is set to leave the promotion in due time. Tokyo Sports reports that Sarray will be leaving WWE once her contract expires and will hold a press conference on March 13th to announce the resumption of her career in Japan. Sarray signed with the company back in 2020, but her arrival was delayed due to the pandemic, and it wouldn't be until March 17th of 2021 that she'd make her debut by defeating Zoe Stark. When NXT became NXT 2.0, Sarray was given the gimmick of a pigtailed schoolgirl who was gifted a medallion by her grandmother that would change her hair. After making a couple of appearances in NXT UK last summer, Sarray's most recent match came back in August 2022 when she challenged then NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose, and fans haven't seen her since. While wrestlers joined WWE in the hopes of being the next top star, that unfortunately didn't happen for Sarray, who is now ready to close this chapter of her wrestling career. Sarray is set to leave WWE soon enough, but Komander could be on his way to the promotion, at least if WWE get their way. After competing in last week's Face of the Revolution ladder match, it was reported that WWE were interested in the 24-year-old wrestler, and AEW are also said to be interested in locking him down to a deal. Speaking to Sports Illustrated, Komander explained how it felt to be on the radar of two of the biggest wrestling companies in the world, saying, "It's very humbling to hear that people want to know where I'm going next. That is a huge honor, to be spoken of in such a manner. I came from nothing. I had absolutely nothing. I did this because it's what I love to do." It's been reported that Komander is currently under contract with the Chaos promotion, and it's unclear how this would impact his ability to sign with another company. Komander is very much on WWE's radar, and fans were blown away with his top rope tightrope spot before diving onto his opponents. And where do you think the masked wrestler should go next in his professional wrestling career? And we're ending today with AEW Dynamite, as this week's show saw Powerhouse Hobbs be crowned the new TNT champion, defeating Wardlow in a physical Falls Count Anywhere match. Hobbs won thanks to the interference of QT Marshall, and the pair had some choice words after Dynamite went off the air. Speaking to the crowd in Sacramento, Marshall said that he and the new champion were going to go celebrate in a real city, and then gave the mic to Hobbs. Hobbs added that they were going to get out of Sacramento and head back to Oakland, and called this win a new chapter in the Book of Hobbs. Hobbs ended by telling the fans to go kiss his black ass and left, as the new TNT champion isn't trying to win over any support from the fans.